It's a kid.
Hello. Hello there, Alec.
Doing good.
What a wild card weekend. This weekend, there were 55.6 points per game average for wild card weekend. That's the fourth highest of any wild card weekend ever in history. So, how was your week and how did you guys enjoy the games? No, Christopher, no, we did not. The Buccaneers, after the second game of the season, from the third game all the way through the season, have shown one thing, and they've shown what they are. Expect anything different would be insanity. Honestly, I mean, we did. Our offensive line gave up fewer pressures and sacks than they have all season, which I credit that to Ryan Jensen being back out there on the field. But other than that, I mean, we are who we are right in the moment, and it's just been a screwed up year for us. Who in particular do you want to fire, dude? I mean, fire the whole coaching staff, tear the team apart, and build from scratch again? Is that what you want to do? I don't like that idea.
I mean, if you do that, that's just gonna be a long road for the next 4 years.
Yes, we got to build depth. Is what we have to do.
We can't pull the Houston Texans and fire a head coach on the first year. They're not going to do that. They're just going to wait.
No, they're not firing Bowles. Get out of that. They might get rid of Byron Leftwich, or maybe add a DC, but they're not going to fire Bowles. That's for sure. So everybody who has that hard on can just go beat it somewhere and get rid of it because it's not happening, people. What do you think, Alec?
I feel like they're just going to fire Byron Leftwich. They're not going to fire Todd Bowles, both because contract, and two, it's more so they got to see what they have with him.
We might not have expected to be the worst looking team in the dance. I kind of did. If we made it to the dance, I didn't. What did you expect? It was a losing team, a team with a losing record going into the playoffs. What honestly did you expect? I mean, you can't expect much more. Yeah, I get everybody's. I'm upset. We're all upset, but it's football. We were not the best team in the league this year. We weren't even close to. Our roster wasn't close to the best team in the league this year. The Eagles' offseason was amazing, and they improved on paper, and they showed it on the field. Pretty much everybody that had a good draft this year made it to the playoffs. People who didn't have a good draft or didn't have a whole lot to draft with like the Rams ended up where you saw them. Um, yeah, I've seen that too, but so far I haven't seen any legitimate sites putting it out. Tim, I've been searching Twitter all morning looking for something on it by somebody legitimate. Can't find it. I'm down for it. We need to play a complete offense, not just 66 passes from Brady every day game or whoever our quarterback is. And that we're going to get to that discussion here in a little bit too. Um, quarterbacks out there. As, as far as far as firing a whole coaching staff, I don't see any upgrades out there really.
You had to be really down bad to fire a whole firing like
If you fire a whole coaching staff, what you're doing is you're giving up on this team, tearing it apart, and starting from scratch. And if you do that, you're going to be behind every team in the NFC South right now because they've already started the process.
whoever Bucks goal game is it time to blow it up? No, it's not. We ain't that bad to be a pull a Houston Texans and just be a top 3 pick every year.
No, we got a foundation. We have
Why move? Why
depth
take
so that injuries don't hurt us.
10 steps forward to go 20 steps back? You got to build off what you have now. I'm not. You don't blow the whole team up, and that's just
Are we a
that's just
quarterback away? No.
over exaggerating.
Let me answer
Like,
this.
as
We
a
are
Bucks fan,
depth away. Depth. You saw what injuries did to this team this year. You have to
yes,
build depth. We have to get those trenches solidified with depth. We have to get our linebacking core solidified with depth. We have to build depth in the secondary. We have to have depth. I don't know what to say, man. You guys can't see it, then you can't see it.
it's. I mean, honestly, I used to be like that and think like that until I started being around you and Alex and learning more. I mean, I knew like the common stuff, like stuff that like that. It's more than just fixing this. There's more than like I used to be that one fan for the Bucks that like, when they go to the draft and get a receiver all the time or running back. But this draft they gotta go for an offensive line, build that depth up and build the line up. Because
True words,
most
Chris.
teams, like you've seen some teams, they've built their line through the draft, and it's worked wonders for them. And I feel like the Bucks will go that route. Not saying it will. I'm hoping they do, but then again, I'll make the draft decisions. I don't know what's going behind the closed doors in that stadium, that state, but
I can't answer that. I can't answer this. Nobody can see a year in the future. It'd be nice if they did. It depends on their draft, free agencies, and a whole lot of other things, intangibles,
yeah.
man. You can't say
Like look at
that.
the Rams. No offense to Scott, but they said F them picks, and then I mean I'm not bashing the Rams. It's just the price you pay for going. I mean we didn't go all out for certain players, but that's what happens when you go for quarterbacks that are like. I mean, not really. I wouldn't say Tom Brady's past his prime. It's
He
more so
was
like
third in passing this season, but look how many times he had to throw the ball.
yeah, but it's more so like building that line because I mean Rams they lost key players on defense on that line. They lost some players on defense, and then look how that affected them. If they weren't in that division, they were somewhere else. They probably would have made the playoffs somehow, and probably still had a chance to go to the playoffs. But that's what happens. Like there's things called post Super Bowl hangovers, post anything. Once you lose those
Not
players,
getting all right. Who's starting this Lamar Jackson stuff? Lamar
I
Jackson is
don't
not
know.
leaving the
I
Ravens.
literally, I literally
Even
saw
if
like
he doesn't sign a contract, people, he will be tagged. He's not
yeah.
going nowhere right now. If you want Lamar Jackson, you're gonna have to wait 3 years for him.
Plus, if you was even think about getting him, you gotta change the whole team up from the line to the offensive scheme as a whole. It's more than just getting a quarterback. If you put Lamar Jackson in that team right now, he won't be the same Lamar Jackson you see in Baltimore. Even though Greg Roman can't freaking lead a horse to water either.
Oh yes, yes. There is a chance that Brady's back next season, mostly because of financials. but also because it's a very limited amount of teams that fit his criteria and that he fits their criteria. Okay, so
Sorry, that comment made me laugh. The one like 4 down. That I'm sorry.
I'm not addressing any Aaron Rodgers comments.
Yeah, I saw that. I just who
Aaron
would think?
Rodgers, I see. Aaron Rodgers does not fit us.
No,
Now,
I'm just thinking like the process of like trying to like make that. If you say you was like make that article, I don't know how you would make that article even believable. Like you really can't. Like
I can make it believable, but I don't want to.
I couldn't do it.
I dread if I that's a fear of mine that they would go grab him. Great quarterback. I'm not taking anything away from Aaron
He's a
Rodgers'
great quarterback.
physical abilities, but he's a whiny ass little crybaby who wouldn't even play here for less than $200 million. So that's out of the question, man.
I mean, me personally, is this. I'm just ready
Yes,
for.
Christopher. Yes, that's agreed. That's why I wouldn't be hurt if Byron Leftwich left the Bucs or was let go or fired, because I give credit to Byron for what he can do, but the things that he can't do or outweigh the things he does well. And building a run offense, designing run plays, designing run blocking schemes, those are not one of his greater achievements. And it's strange for somebody who came from the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Jags, because remember they had Fred Taylor with the Jags when he was there.
Yeah. Best bets: Jimmy G or Carr or Baker or Jameis. Okay, I can answer like some of
Here we
these.
go. Here we go. Now I'm breaking
I
news.
got it for this one. Baker's probably going to stay with LA as a backup because they are keeping Stafford, but they might start Baker for just in case anything happens to the recovery process for Stafford. Jameis won't come back to the team, so that's already got out the door. Carr, I can see him going anywhere. Like, I mean, it all depends on how Jason Light can pitch it, but that's like a 20% chance that even happens. Jimmy G,
Financially, we're right now at 40 million over the cap, so we have
yeah,
to lose some free
only
agents.
thing we could, yeah, they have a
Well,
local high school
actually,
here.
we're going to be going to the players and saying renegotiate your contract.
Just don't
Go to the back.
renegotiate, whose contract. For the love of God, just give that man his contract.
Who?
Yeah, I know they can't do it this year, but
Who?
Evans,
Oh yeah, Evans is all
he's
time.
the one person that shouldn't be restructuring his contract. That man's undid too much. It should be somebody else taking the restructuring this, at least this year. For the love of God, that man does it every year, and no one else. Like the one thing I don't get is that man's done so much, done so much restructuring in his contract every year to bring players in, and some fans find some way to bash him for it. I'm like, dude, like you guys, like he's. I'm not saying because some people over exaggerate Mike Evans saying he's gonna be a first ballot Hall of Famer. I mean, that's a little stretching it, but he's a great player. I mean, yes, he. If you guys bash him off that drop pass in the playoffs, the last game, like the last little pass they had at the end,
D'Amico Ryans is already out there with 5 other teams, man, looking at a job. So I don't know if it's 5. That's just off
like
the top of my head.
that
But he's
last little
out there.
pass
He's in
series,
every conversation now there is. I doubt he's going to be there available for the Bucs.
we can't cut Donovan Smith because we still have the what's that? What was it again? What's that word again? It's
Dead
oh
cat, dead
yeah,
money.
dead cat. We have dead
Yeah,
cat. We can't.
yeah, we
It would
can't. It would be stupid to cut Donovan Smith in the first place because you don't. If you draft a tackle, you have to develop a tackle. Okay,
that's what
and
me and Ben said last night.
We're not drafting in a position where we can get a top tier tackle like we did with Tristan Wirfs.
You know what's the crazy
Okay,
part? We had the same comment last night with me and Ben. We both said I mean, it's dead cap. Plus, you would have to smart thing was to draft a player to fully replace him down the road. I mean, you can't just.
right. You draft the player, then develop the player while you have the other guy on the field to. And
It's like
With this team right now, it only takes one hit to any of our starters to put us in a hole. We
Yeah,
have to draft
definitely
for
does.
depth. We have to draft for these guys' future positions.
We saw it with Jensen.
And we have to draft well with these guys because they have to be starter capable.
Go after Tua. What the? Okay. Someone's. Oh my gosh.
Oh my god! All
Someone's
right,
doing
here
a
I'm
little.
going to give you. I'm going to give you a list of, and it's a very short list of quarterbacks we should probably bring in. Very short list: Jimmy Garoppolo, Daniel Jones. Everybody's going to laugh about Daniel Jones. Daniel Jones had a great year this year. He's more mobile than Brady. And he's never
Why
had the
would you?
weapons he's had here. Kind of
Like,
like
why would you
Brady
even
when he
think
first came here.
Tua after the whole season? Who even thinks of even?
I'm not even going to discuss Tua because he shouldn't even be playing in the NFL next year. Not after three
Really?
concussions.
You know what's
Update on Gage. He got a concussion last night and a neck injury in which he's now being able he can move his body parts now. So he it looks okay right now, but we don't know for sure.
yeah. I don't know if this is a long shot, but I won't be surprised if the Giants beat the Eagles on Saturday or Sunday. I think they play. I would not be surprised
The Eagles, no, I wouldn't be surprised.
because if the Giants, like, I mean, I'm not sure because I didn't really get to watch the Eagles Giants game. I know they didn't have Daniel Jones playing,
That's
but
a
I think they had some
possibility
of their
as well.
starters playing. Like even when they had some of their starters playing, they still made some noise, even though it was probably too late. But I feel like it's going to be a different game early in that game. Like, I feel like the first half will be closer than everybody else thinks. But I feel like that's gonna be like this is what I really want to see. I want to see an overtime game between the Giants and Eagles. Will I get it? No,
I'm not
I
going to
probably won't get it.
complain. I'm not going to complain too much, people, about the offensive line because once Jensen came back, they had the best game they've ever played this year. There was two sacks and I don't remember how many pressures, but there was very few pressures. The offensive line played well. Brady had plenty of time to throw the ball, even though he was short throwing on a couple of those. But it was the best the offensive line has played.
No Scott's comment.
Yeah,
Bring Brian Leftwich back as a Bucs quarterback.
it was Scott.
Oh my gosh!
You can have him. You can have him for your quarterback, Scott.
Would fire Todd Bowles trade for Sean? Wait, huh?
This isn't happening. People stop with the trade Todd. Get rid of Todd Bowles thing. He's not going nowhere. He's going to be here for 3 years. Get used to him. Get used to him. After
That's
3 years,
literally.
his contract will be worked out to the point where we're not
Do you know
paying a
what's?
coach to sit on a couch.
Do you know what's weird? I'm not sure. This may sound like a weird statement, but it's crazy
I'm not,
how. No, that's
I
crazy
want.
how
Well,
you
wait a
like.
minute. Let me quantify like my last statement. I'm not happy with Todd Bowles. I would much prefer BA to be back down on that field, slapping people in the head and holding people accountable than to watch Todd Bowles' boring ass fucking pressers. Okay, but common sense now. The Bucs are not going to fire Todd Bowles this year. Everybody's so used to this knee-jerk crap. Fire, 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 fire. It don't happen that way. It's a business.
We're not the Houston Texans,
Right. We used to
which,
be.
in my opinion, they should never fired Lovey Smith. You gotta give a coach 2 or 3 years to even judge off that. It's the same way if God forbid, if Jason Light says Kyle Trask is the quarterback next year, God, that's gonna be a long shot. If they even think that. But I mean, I'm not doubting any
If
possibilities.
we don't bring in a veteran quarterback, then Trask is our quarterback, and we have to use
Yeah,
Trask up. Got him in the second round. His money's right now to use him and see what the hell you got. That's a basic fundamental. You don't draft something you don't want. They wanted him. They worked with him. They're going to play him. They activated him in 3 games this year, so they're going to use Trask next year if Brady isn't here. Now, as far as Brady being here, there are still chances that he's going to be here because, like I said, there's only like 3 teams out there that fit his criteria and the criteria of the teams looking for a quarterback. So there is still a possibility that Brady's back. I don't want to hold. I don't want Brady holding us ransom until mid friggin' the middle of next month or March to find out what he's going to do. We got to get this shit on the road this year. Not what ifs. Not no more Brett Favre bullshit. Oh, and speaking of Sean Payton, he's in Denver right now interviewing for that job. Oh, who else had got jobs today? I think I messaged that to you earlier. Alec. Alec.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm just looking at this video, but I definitely like. You know what you're really gonna get next year?
I asked you a
It's
question though. Did I
what
send those? Never mind. I'll look it up. Where did I put that shit? Oh, Jim Schwartz is taking over as the Browns' defensive coordinator, and Monte Austin-Fort is the new GM in Arizona. I like the Austin-Fort hire. Schwartz, as long as he's a DC and not a HC, he's fine. Kind of like what
yeah.
Bowles is.
But who do you think is there any top favorites for Browns? I'm not sure they're actually. Did they fire Stefanski?
No, he's just DC defensive
I was
coordinator.
saying like
He's still
everyone
there.
said that they're possibly firing. Wake up, Alec. No sleeping on the air. I might see. I'm not sleeping on the air. I didn't pull an Anthony, which I had never seen that on the air this year, so
Not
I
this
wasn't
year.
there for that one. I wasn't there for that situation.
That wasn't on the air either. That was behind the scenes.
Oh,
That's backstage.
but
No, exactly, Christopher. And not only that, he don't want to be in the NFC South. He's going to be out west somewhere. He's going to be close to home. He lives in Los Angeles. Sean Payton lives in Los Angeles. I know everybody seems to think that New Orleans is his home, but he lives in Los Angeles. He's going to take the closer job.
and plus, Saints don't do what we do. We don't send our let our players go to any our players or anything go to rival teams, aka Winston, aka
I don't think we've ever gotten a Saints player, but they've gotten players off of us.
yeah. So the thing I was like, we've sent players to them, but it'll never be the other way for us. But like I was saying about the Kyle Trask thing is, if God forbid that is, I mean, I'm not really saying he's a bad quarterback because me personally, I haven't seen him play a full season, so I can't even judge him. Like you could, like any fan shouldn't judge. I mean, of course, there's gonna be those
He can
couch
outrun
potato
Brady.
fucking head coaches that think, oh yeah, Kyle Trask is not it. How would
They
you
haven't
know?
seen him. They haven't seen him. They don't know.
Look, everybody
Nobody.
that bashed Daniel Jones saying that he wasn't it, and then Brian Dable came in. Now
Well,
he's in the
see, the
playoffs.
Giants took a big. They screwed up on that because Daniel Jones is a free agent this year. So I don't know what the Giants are going to do. He's probably going to get tagged. So it's kind of scratch that from the roster of available quarterbacks, and you're looking at Jimmy Garoppolo, which I don't mind. Jimmy, he's a very smart quarterback. He's not going to. He's not going to be the guy that you can put the team on your shoulders and win a game with. Just ain't. You got to have a team around Jimmy. You got to have a team around most of these quarterbacks. There's only one quarterback I've seen in the league this year playing where he can carry two. I take it back, two. Jalen Hurts can take a team on his shoulders and win a game, and Joe Burrow can take a team on his shoulders and go to the Super Bowl with
Yeah,
a bad offensive line. He doesn't have a bad offensive line this year, by the way, but he does have injuries there.
but yeah, it's just one of those things where you got those about that thing I was talking about earlier. It's like you have these couch potato head coaches that think they know everything the team should do. The crazy part is you don't know because you don't get paid. You're not in those shoes to make those decisions. And two, you got to develop a quarterback and actually see him play in game action
Are
for
you
2 years. Who's the best free agent running back that the Rams can sign? What? Who's the best free agent running back that the Rams can sign.
That, man, you're a man right after McVay's heart, aren't you?
Well, I heard Maurice Jones-Drew's available since he rides your guys' coattail like a freaking whore.
What's up, Sean? What's the best?
Oh, you guys can get Brian Robinson.
I doubt that.
God, sorry, Sean. I'm sorry.
I think Brian Robinson's. Oh, you said that for Sean. Okay, gotcha.
Yeah,
I was
if
going
you
to
hit,
say, what are you talking about? Brian Robinson
don't
ain't
worry.
going.
If you go to any command, if you ask for any Commanders player, I'm pretty sure Dan Snyder will let it slide since he can't lead his team. Might as well.
Dan Snyder ain't got nothing to do with that no more. He better not.
Herschel Walker is free.
There you go, Scott. You answered your own question.
LaDainian Tomlinson's free. LaDainian Tomlinson's available.
We won't know anything until free agency's out and to see who's signing tenders and stuff.
Oh, what's his name? Fudge.
We're still in the playoffs, though, guys. We got games coming this week.
Oh, don't worry, Scott. Mike
no.
Alsop's available.
Oh, come on, man. Leave Mike alone. Mike had a hard life in football.
Jim Harbaugh returning to Michigan for 2023 season.
Yes. They didn't. He couldn't pick him out. He couldn't get nobody for the money he wanted. He wants. I imagine that he's out there looking for Chucky kind of money. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He wants a Chucky deal, and he's not going to get it. He's not going to be able to be the GM and everything else there.
Sure, let's bring back McCoy. Might as well let's bring back what's DY?
If you can get LaShawn McCoy involved in a game, he's really awesome. But it's you're bringing. He's
talking about Gerald McCoy. It says DT.
Oh, never mind.
Well, at this point, we should bring back
Dominican Sue.
No, not him.
No, yeah, I'd rather have Dominican Sue than Gerald McCoy any day right now.
Yeah, I'll try to see about the other player. Fudge, what's his name?
JPP.
No, it's every Bucs most hated corner safety. Oh, Chris Conte. Might as well bring him back at this point if you're gonna bring back
Gerald McCoy and Chris Conte. Yeah, let's bring out the old gang, man.
Let's bring back Chris Conte. Where was the shove heard around the world?
Thanos.
He literally ended his career off of a one push.
He got Thanos. He turned to dust in that play.
That's crazy. Like, ever since that play, I have not heard a single thing about him. I think he's like in what's that one place that it's like, oh dang, I'm trying to remember
No, I don't look at AB videos at all, man. Antonio Brown is the worst piece of crap.
Oh, he's in Chris Conte's in the Bermuda Triangle right now. That's where he got pushed into the Bermuda Triangle. Mike Glean showback.
Okay, let's review some of the games we got coming, man.
Said he likes to see
Drew game up. What's our next game up? Is there a Saturday game to this week?
This man said Saturday game, yeah.
Keep focused,
schedule. I have the schedule. On Saturday, it is Jaguars, Chiefs, Giants, Eagles. Sunday, Bengals, Bills, Cowboys, Niners.
Start with the Jaguars and Chiefs. I fully feel that the Jaguars are capable of taking on the Chiefs in that scheme. Now, 2 years ago or 3 years ago, I don't think they could have handled them. But the Jaguars' defense is really good. I cannot praise that defense enough. Their defense is really good. And now that they have an offense that can move the ball between Etienne and believe it or not, Christian Kirk, they're doing an immaculate job.
Let me see.
What?
I was trying to see this thing. I was trying to see what this guy said. Oh wait. This man said he likes to see you play. He lost me then.
let's focus on these games, man.
Yeah, with that one, I see the.
Jags upset. I think that
I
could
mean,
be an upset. That's an upset alert for sure.
I mean, I'm not really saying upset, but my score
Well, it
prediction
would
for that
definitely
game
be an
is
upset.
closer. Like my score prediction for that game is 30 to 20, 28. I have it closer than what the line is at, because the line is at 8.5. I have it closer to a 3 point game, but if they somehow like bring it close and they send it to overtime, then I'm probably gonna be off by a long shot. But I have it from 30 30 to 28.
I have
Yeah.
Scott. I have Niners and who? Who did I have against them? Who's my Niners Bengals Super Bowl, because the Bengals are a complete team. The Niners are a complete team. They're the two most complete teams in the NFL right now. Um, I don't know if Dallas can beat the Niners with one big burst. They're, as you saw last night, their game plan is the Buccaneers' old game plan, big chunk yardage. So I still got the 49ers winning that game. The Buccaneers were not a good game to evaluate the Dallas by. Period. That was not. Don't evaluate Dallas by the Bucs game. Take in the whole last 5 weeks of Dallas and then evaluate them.
But wait, but what the fuck? So I'm also gonna ignore the comments and go to the next game.
Yep.
The Giants Eagles. That one I actually have by a long. It's a long shot, but I have Giants actually winning that game. I don't know what my bracket is on NFL Edition. It's probably already busted because my gut one last time and put Bucs in there. I should have put Cowboys in there. I would have had a clean bracket, but I actually have Giants winning that one.
I kind of expect the Giants to win. I think I picked the Eagles in the Bucks bracket, but
It's more so like
I
that
wanted to
Jalen
see what the
Hurts.
Giants did this week, and they showed up. So
That Bucks look bad on
hold on a minute.
defense.
I got to mute my mic here.
Bucks will look bad on defense. 49ers will not play bad on defense. Yeah.
No, the 49ers aren't going to play bad anywhere. That team's rolling right now. The 49ers are the best team in the NFL right at this moment.
Giants have no business. NFC Championship.
Is this Sean?
Wow, I see you, Alec. Brian Robinson, really? Sorry, I was driving. Yeah, you could also get a Jahan Dotson. I think he's available too, right?
Oh man, he stole Jahan Dotson from me. Remember preseason? That was my guy, man.
As long as you weren't on at least you were on the show the other night. I think it was on Sunday night. Sid already knows. Was saying that Porter Jr. is going to go to the Steelers.
That's likely.
Yeah, you can also get
Joy Porter Jr. will fall too. I would say, right in that area.
If you want a quarterback, you can get Sam Howell.
Okay, let's get off the comments.
I'm sorry, I just want to see
Second game. What's the second game?
Where did that one? The Giants Eagles.
Oh, okay. The third game.
The Bengals Bills. The Bengals Bills is. I'm going away from my pick from the bracket. I mean, it's my bracket already busted from the Bucs, so might as well just go ahead and change it up. I think I have Bengals win. I have Bengals winning that game against the Bills.
I did too. The game that was canceled. The Bengals opened up a can of whoop us in the first half of that game. They were they were dominating the Bills at that point. You can't judge by the Ravens game, even though the Bengals won it. It was to me. I love that game. That was a great defensive game, uh, which makes me pick the Bengals even more because the Bengals defense looked really good in that game.
Yeah.
The Bengals defense has looked good all season mostly, but it's really stepping up right now.
Hey, but all I gotta say is
Yes, somebody's an old timer here. I remember them,
all I gotta say is for next week,
and I have
the Dak
49ers
Prescott
in this one too.
the Dak Prescott y'all saw last week or yesterday. Don't get used to it because he's
No,
gonna
he's
go back to
inconsistent. He's been inconsistent all year long. He'll
he's
have a
gonna be
great
that he's
game and
gonna
then
be that
followed up with a spit game.
because next week you're gonna see Dak Prescott regular season form again. Because yesterday that was just a little bit of see in my I don't want to say anything
All right,
because
listen.
me
Here's how you can explain this the easiest way. Did you see McCarthy in the locker room and Jerry Jones in the booth? They were all celebrating like it was the Super Bowl win against the Bucs. Okay,
yeah
31-14 against the Bucs, and they thought it was like a Super Bowl win.
yeah
It's
I saw
because
I
they
saw
haven't been there before.
yeah they're not like hey hats off to the Cowboys you got one game close that means next week is going to be a
Oh, next week isn't going to be the Bucs.
no I'm saying for the Niners and
I know.
Cowboys especially playing in San Fran that stadium is something else so we let him off hook. Dennis Green voice. Yeah, as much as I like, I want to like. People were bashing me all day about this yesterday, and I honestly don't give a single f what they say. Me personally, I didn't want us winning yesterday because I don't like we don't like everything with the team. We don't match up well against some teams in the postseason, like in the playoffs. And especially, I didn't want
Oh,
us to have to go against San Fran again. But if people want to say that I was a fake fan for saying that, guess what? I don't care. I don't care.
saying about fandom, man. I don't care about fandom. You can cry fandom all day. I
It's
know who my
being
team is. It's been since '76, but that's
I'd rather be
I
I'd rather
when it comes to this. When it comes to giving my opinions, I'm 100% unbiased on these things.
that's why
100%.
it's like
I'll pick
I
against the Bucks if I think the Bucks are going to lose. I'm going to pick against the Bucks. I don't care.
yeah. But apparently, wait, what the freak? Now I see why you hate ESPN.
Turn the
Yeah.
TV off if you can't focus on the show, man. Come on.
I'm trying to see the because they're talking about the Cowboys game, and apparently Cowboys have a 52% chance to win.
All right.
I really hate analytics. I really do.
That's just based off the last game they played, dude. That's all you have to remember.
But yeah, I don't like with that Niners defense. I
My
give
super
them credit. Like their defensive coordinator got that whole team rolling. I see 49ers winning that one.
Dan Quinn's probably going to be a head coach somewhere this year. He's already getting off interviewed. He's already being asked for interviews.
Yeah, they can request for him. I'm trying to think of like
With
me personally. Like I'm trying to give like a game prediction on it, a score prediction, but it's tough. I
I don't
say
need
like
predictions. We've already made our score predictions. We're just going over the games.
I was trying to get my score prediction for the Niners Cowboys.
So you're
I
going
think
to
it's
do it anyway.
45-28. I think it's close, and then the Niners pull away. The thing is, no one can bat. Like the thing about the Niners is the first half they'll always somehow pull it close, but the second half the Niners just pull away every time. Like with the Seahawks, everybody thought like, oh, this Niners team isn't ready, and then in the second half they pull away from the win. That's why I feel like the same things will be with the Cowboys Niners game. But I give I'm loving this Jaguars team this year. Even though I'm not picking them to win anything this year, I'm loving their adjustments. Doug Peterson how he has a team. Even though the first half should have never been like that, it really shouldn't have been. You can't always like start off like that. I mean, the fact that they the years
I would
before,
love for the Jags and Giants to win their games this coming week. I would love for that to happen. It doesn't bust my bracket at all. I mean, the Bengals and the 49ers are still in there. So
like even with like the Lions, I feel like the Lions are going to go playoffs next year. They they made their adjustments, even though they made their adjustments late. They could have even made a postseason run. So I really want to see the Jaguars pull an upset off and eliminate the Chiefs because Trevor Lawrence is. I mean,
Corey. Is this Corey Brown? Corey, say your name if this is you.
Kyle Hansen, Micah Parsons was in our backfield all night long. Can 49ers block him?
49ers is the best offensive line in football. You anchor in
There's a
that
difference.
offensive line.
They have an O line. They have a line. Ours is, eh. It's just not it. I mean, we have Wirfs. Jensen came back. It's just that whole line kept getting shuffled nonstop all
Well,
year.
think about that. We have a offensive line right now, but we had our best offensive line game we've had all
Yeah,
year against the Cowboys twice.
yeah.
Okay. So yeah, I think the 49ers offensive line can handle the job. How can they handle Trent Williams? That's the
And the thing
question.
is, the reason why I know for a fact, like, see, it's more so like now I can fully see why like you have the Niners because the game film last night. I'm not sure because we had what was like 64 passing attempts and 12 rushes. I'm
66,
wondering if
66 passing attempts.
when they started like when they because I was in and out of watching the game because I had like 20 million other things to do. I'm not gonna I wasn't trying I had like probably no time to watch the game yesterday, but I'm wondering when they started banning the run. I'm wondering if that was when they started losing the lead. But the thing with the
Banning
Niners
the run.
is the Niners change it up. They
I
can
don't think I don't think Leonard Fournette stepped on the field and Rashad White had 41 yards. So
and the thing with the Niners is they don't abandon the run. They they switched it up
wait,
and
wait, wait. They don't have to abandon the run. They have, like I said a minute ago, the
they have a
best
great run
offensive
game.
line in football. Trent Williams will be downfield pancaking fuckers. You know?
No, so that's what I was
And,
trying to say.
and I'm just saying Trent Williams because I can't just think of everybody on the offensive line off the top of my head, but that offensive
Okay.
line is amazing.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. I was like, because the thing with the Cowboys is, or Niners, they're not gonna. Oof, with them, they have a great running back. They have a great O line. They have Elijah Mitchell and Christian McCaffrey, which great duo in that sense. They can cycle the two in and out. And they have Debo
Corey,
Samuel,
if
George
this is
Kittle.
you, Calvin Ridley's on the Falcons, not the Jaguars. Wrong critter.
I think he is on.
Is
Or
he?
is that
Did he
Riley?
get traded?
I think it's Calvin Ridley. Let me see. Is there him or Riley Ridley? Let's see. Calvin Ridley. Yeah, he's on the Jaguars.
When did he get traded to the Jaguars?
Oh, he didn't get traded. He got signed and then he got suspended for that gambling thing for putting
Oh,
money on
okay. I
Falcons.
forgot about him because I haven't seen him all year.
Yeah, I think Riley Ridley is still on the Falcons. Oh, they traded him. Yeah.
Okay. Whose offense is amazing? The 49ers, I love their offense, man. I love the way they incorporate the run in the pass. They have George Kittle, Debo. You never know whether they're coming out of the backfield or going on a slant or a go pattern. You never know with them. And since Purdy's been there, Debo's been being used quite a bit lately.
Him and one of my favorite Niner players, Brandon Ayuk.
Ayuk has turned it up in the last 3 games before the playoffs started, and since the playoffs have been going on, Brandon Ayuk has really shown out.
Yeah, that's why I hope that game is nowhere near close. I hope the Niners pull away from that one.
The the
We can have
the line was holding up. Brady was waiting 4 seconds, 5 seconds. I mean, wait, he had 4 or 5 seconds and was throwing the ball at 2 and 3. He
we
wasn't.
cannot.
He was still being rushed in his head. He got used to doing that all season long. He did take some time and make some good throws. I'm not going to just be bashing on Brady.
Mm. Herm
Um,
Edwards, Bucks new offensive coordinator
Come on,
replacement.
man. Just just say no. Just say no to them drugs, man.
I'm not even like anything off season. I just leave it to them. Whoever they pick, it's them. I can't really make a decision on that one.
The Bills' offensive ranking
Yeah.
has dropped to third now after the Dolphins held them up.
Yeah, it's just the more I don't even know if it's really
Scott, I will put you in timeout for that comment. You
like
just took his damn name off our Ring of Honor. Why would we put him back on the team?
the way I see it is yeah, that Brady signing really says back. Really says back. I'm trying to think of where we
Chuck Pagano, I think, is retired. He had that cancer, and then his health issues, man. I wouldn't put Chuck Pagano out there and watch him fade out on us. I think he needs to be right where he's at. I think the Buccaneers fan base is as brutal as the New
you
York
hired
Jets
to win
or
the
the
game.
Eagles.
Yeah, Nathan, tough game last night. I mean, it didn't shock me. A lot of miscues, but
Nathan, I was proud of your Ravens. I'm not proud of your fucking OC. And Jim
yeah, it's
Harbaugh is
because
going back to Michigan, so I guess we can't get rid of him there again.
yeah, Tyler Huntley going for that QB sneak and jumping over the line was stupid.
That was the dumbest play call I've ever seen in my life, man. You don't go 2 yards out and try to jump over the line. That's who jumps over the line these days anyway. Besides Josh
Especially
Allen.
going like this with the ball going like that, where they
Yeah,
can just smack it.
if you're going to go like that, you got to be close enough to get it over the line in the first place. I get it if you're on the 6 inch line and you're trying to get in, but no, man, Mike Tomlin's not available. He's not going to be available.
He's staying with Pittsburgh.
He works for the smartest franchise in football history, the Steelers. They don't fire coaches. They work with them and get them
He already
right.
said that. According to because Sid knows more about it than I do, but apparently he said they had an interview or not interview. It was like a press conference like a while back. I think it was. I'm not sure. Like Sid knows the whole story because he was talking about it last night on his show. But he said that Pittsburgh is where he wants to stay. He says that he's like I already have the best job in the world. He don't want to go anywhere else. So I don't know like when that thing happened, but I think it was like mid season this year. I think that was like middle of like when they had like their little lose streak. I think it was. Well, I'll have to ask Sid exactly where he got that
Hmm.
one at.
I
But if we're
wouldn't
brought
be,
back,
I wouldn't be upset about that.
Mike Zimmer.
No,
Oh,
no, just say no to Zimmer. Zimmerman, no. For one thing, you'd have to change the entire style. You'd have to change the team. You'd have to bring in players that aren't built for speed exactly. They're built. The AFC North teams are built heavy, and that don't mean they're all fat. It just means they're heavy. They're big. They're stronger players. They're bigger. They're a little bit slower, and that's not what the Bucs do. The Bucs are built for speed now. Our defense and our offense to a point. Our offensive line could beef up a little bit, I think, or get a bunch of Tristan Wirfs.
Yeah, Tristan Wirf,
We need
great
5
player.
more Tristan Wirfs and we'll be fine.
Develop a Wirf family.
Wirfs and Jensen. You see what? If we get offensive linemen, let's get them from the fucking AFC North, please.
Yeah, it's one of those.
Nathan, that is a very good question. We have no clue. We'll have to see what breaks down in free agency, who's gone, who gets re-signed, whose contracts are renegotiated. I'm not even going to speculate at that. I don't know. I can't even speculate about quarterback because I don't know if Brady's gone. And if Brady is gone, then we'll probably go with Trask or they'll bring in another vet. And I don't see any vets out there that are Brady-esque enough to just shove in there and start unless we get Jimmy Garoppolo or maybe Daniel Jones, but that's out of the question because the Giants are probably going to tag him. So I don't want no scrubs, just like the song says. No scrubs. Scott, I see your comment. I'm not going to address it.
Yeah, I saw that.
There you go, Bus. Exactly. We have 22 free agents right now. We have a $40 million cap hit. So things are going to change. Ryan, you know what? Ryan Griffin probably could be the OC. I don't know who said that. That was Corey.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not as funny as you think it is, Corey. I could see Ryan Griffin being an OC. He's been on the damn sidelines holding a clipboard for 9 years, right?
Yeah, but these people out here that are saying blow the team up is just that's just one of those overreactions.
There are going to be some drastic changes in the team. Blowing it up is not going to be one of them. You're not going to hire a complete new staff. You have a good development staff on hand right now. You need to do something with the OC. I will go there. The head coach, although I don't agree with his style of coaching, he's not going anywhere for 3 years.
Yeah.
So give that up, people. I'd love to see Arians come back down out of his offices and start smacking people in the head and calling them out, but that's not how Todd Bowles works. I'm not crazy about Todd Bowles' play calling or time clock management, which is the most important thing a head coach does on the sidelines is the clock management. I mean, your OC's calling in your playbook, your DC's calling in that playbook. Now, I'd like to see Todd give up the play calling and let whoever the defensive coordinator is actually supposed to be call his defense. Yeah, there's going to be changes, but it ain't going to be a bunch of firings like everybody thinks.
It's one of those I really can't even really like because like you said, you gotta go over the who's coming back, who's staying. You'll know who wants to leave, who's gonna get contracts somewhere else. Because some people are probably seeing where the team is going, and they probably don't want to wait. And they want to go where the money's at. I know we have one expiring contract for sure. I think Mike Evans is on his last. This is his last year.
I'll answer this one right now. Nathan, the team's been and
Good.
whoever thought that the Bucs was going to go into this game and just win it easily, win it. Period. I mean, I picked the Bucs because it's my team, but I didn't realistically believe the Bucs were going to win shit. They have been who they are since Game 3 of this season, all the way through the season. They don't leopard don't change its spots overnight. So no, that team. There was multiple reasons the team failed this year. A lot of it had to do with the offensive line, replacing 3 players, trying to keep them healthy. We had Josh Wells on the offensive line this year, people. We had Gadecki out there. We had, oh my God, people they brought in from Buck wherever. You can't keep Brady comfortable with an offensive line he don't know. Everybody knows that about Brady, and it's easy for an opposing team to draw playbooks up on that. Just put pressure on him, right? Because the offensive line ain't going to hold up. He's not Joe Burrow. He isn't.
Then left with 3 passes on first down goal from the 3-yard line. Yeah.
I'd rather pass the ball on the goal line than try to jump over the top. That was a ridiculous play. And Greg Roman, you guys want a vanilla? Here we go. Let's replace Byron Leftwich with Greg Roman and see what you guys feel about that. You'll have a run game. You won't have anything else. Nothing else.
Don't.
Greg Roman is the worst OC in football today.
I just never mind. I'm not wishing that upon us, because if that happens,
I know high school fucking offensive coordinators that are better than Greg Roman. Sorry, man. Ugh.
I was gonna say something, but I don't want to stir the pot nor see a side Johnny that I ever wanted to see in my life.
What are the games we got going on next week?
We have Giants, Eagles.
I thought we already talked about Giants, Eagles.
That's mostly all the games we have. It's Giants, Eagles, it's Jaguars, Chiefs,
Okay,
Bucs,
right.
Bills. I said Bucs. We didn't go that far.
Did not go there. We didn't do the Bills game.
Bengals, Bills, and then Niners, Cowboys.
Yeah, I have the Bengals over the Bills on that game.
Yeah, since that bracket already lost, I was gonna change it to the.
Hey Ben, I see you up there.
Even though I can't change it, but my pick is the Bengals in that one.
I've said bring Nick Saban back to the NFL, but he's scared. He's all comfy right there in Alabama. He don't want nothing to do with the NFL again.
After David Pollock's comment, yeah, he's gonna try to win a championship next year. Tom Bucs offensive coordinator.
That's a joke. I think he'd be about, I don't know.
At this point, bring Joe Lombardi in.
Come on, man.
It's like your Vikings disappointed. Not really. I knew they were going to lose that game. You couldn't give me a million reasons why Vikings were going to beat the Giants.
He said the Vikings are disappointed.
Oh.
Yeah, I bet they are. I don't know why they should be disappointed. It should have been expecting that loss.
When did Arizona Cardinals get new football jerseys? Ha 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 ha. Ha.
I forgot what you were wearing there. I was trying to figure out what the hell is he talking about, and then I looked up at you.
No, it's the St. Louis.
Bills can win it, but they're going to have to play a perfect game because the Bengals, like I said, the first half of that last game, before it stopped, the Bengals were tearing their asses up. They were physically dominating at every spot there on that line, defense and offense. That's one that's funny and could possibly happen one day. I knew you would, Sean. Just to be opposite, right? I think a lot of people have the Bills winning that. I don't. I haven't seen the Bills be consistent enough there. If they have to put the whole game on Josh, that is not going to happen. Gage is
I have
still going through additional tests today.
I have
So,
2 seats for Cardinals games, one for me, one for Jason, but Alec can sit. No.
you
Sorry,
actually
Scott.
read that out loud?
Sorry. I mean, sorry, Scott. I already have tickets this year. I already bought season tickets to their games. I got my stuff in the mail yesterday.
See, Sean, I don't even look at that because every game was a repeat game from previously this year. Every game in the playoffs were a repeat of games already played. So yeah,
I
I know it's a
mean,
traditional game, and the Miami and Buffalo see each other a lot. But Buffalo's kind of had Miami's number in Buffalo.
I think the Ravens D held their own.
Exactly.
Yeah, the Ravens defense held their own, but their offense couldn't come. They couldn't score when they needed what needed to be. Because if you're on the goal line and your first option is a freaking
Wait a
QB
minute.
sneak
Wait a
it
minute.
over the line,
Sean, the Bills don't have Ravens defense.
yeah, it's AFC North.
They,
AFC North is different.
it's completely different, man. I just was explaining that AFC North goes heavy, and
Alec, can you stay at my house? My dog doesn't eat much.
Roquan Smith's been balling out and had a great game in that game too.
Bro, I don't get that comment. I don't get it. I'm confused.
He's basically saying you can sleep in the dog bed.
The fuck kind of sick comment is that?
Don't even look at it then.
San Fran win, Eagles win, Bengals win, Kansas City wins. There's my picks. I think TB12 is gone in Tampa. It's a
That
90% chance.
that's
You'd be able
actually
to.
65% chance right now, but
It all depends on what happens with the offensive coordinator, what he wants to do, what the team wants to move forward with. I mean, no one's really gonna have answers the day after a loss. They're more so.
I need answers from Brady soon, though. I don't need the bullshit we had last year. Puts the team in too much disarray. Write a
Yeah,
playbook up for one guy, and here comes the other guy back. Got to throw away that playbook and rebuild
yeah.
a playbook for the other guy. You got to
I
build.
mean, I'm not saying wait that long. That one was that was unnecessary. That was too much. But I'm just saying in general.
Nathan, I think Miami did friggin' well, especially in the playoff game without their starting quarterback or their backup quarterback. They went third string quarterback on that.
No, Ben, I'm not taking Scott's offer. That's what I was saying. What? The two comments weren't connected.
I'm trying. I'm sorry, Scott, but I'm trying to talk football. Yeah, whoever said this, they probably will start Kyle Trask and Blaine Gabbert this season. They're not going to spend a fortune on a free agent quarterback. That's why I said the only free agent quarterback I can see coming here would be Jimmy Garoppolo or Daniel Jones because they're not going to. There's not going to be a huge price tag coming with them, and they're kind of worth getting. But Daniel Jones isn't coming here. I threw Daniel Jones's name out there just because he's a free agent, but he's not going to come here because they're going to tag him.
I'm trying to figure out which comments Sean had that said weren't connected. Because that's all I was saying.
I saw that too, Steve and Steve Smith. Funny, but you gotta look at around the league and see what teams are going to want Brady, if they're logistically viable for Brady, if they fit Brady's criteria. There's a lot of things that go into that decision, man. He may not. He may go to the announcers booth. He may just retire and go to Cabo. We don't know what he's going to do. Just don't retire and say, I'm Brett Favre. I'm coming to the Vikings or some bullshit later on in the season. And please don't come back to us after you retire again. No,
I kick Lenny to
No,
the curb.
no, no, because Brady would be coming here on a 1 year contract, and there's no way they're going to fire an entire staff and bring in Patriot staff just to please Brady. No, that's not going to happen.
Draft Hooker to compete with Trask
I wouldn't
off of
mind that.
ACL.
I wouldn't mind that. But Trask has 3 years experience in the system, so
I kick Lenny to the curve.
you'd kick 3,400 yards total offense in 3 years to the curb for what? He doesn't get that big a paycheck. You think Rashad White's doing any better with 41 yards? Come on, man.
See you on Thursday when Alex Loosemore is on. Dolphins MIA 12.
I don't get that one.
I guess because TB 12, MIA 12.
Yeah, I agree with that comment 100%. I think he should just call it a day. You played your third in offensive passing yards this year, so take that, put it in a nice little bow package, and go home and find you a new wife and start a new family. Just don't go stalking your ex.
Oh my gosh.
That's the worst thing you can do is stalk your ex. Well, he did the right thing by selling that house in Miami and moving, getting away from her ass. Why would she buy a house across the street from Tom? Why? Why? We know why, but how obvious is that you're a bitch? Can you think of a more bitch move than to buy a house across from your ex so he can watch your fucking kids playing with the pool boy? You frozen? What?
No, I gotta enter in this thing real quick. There we go. Oh, they
I
had
think
me.
we pretty much covered most of this stuff today.
Yeah.
Been an hour.
See kids together. Heard that the Bucs fired Leftwich. Is that true? Well, apparently the site that I found, the link I found that on was apparently a phishing page. So we don't know anything yet.
It hasn't been announced yet. So, and I haven't heard anything on Twitter about it from any reliable sources. Steve Smith, who did you hear that from? Because I've been on this for hours, so I haven't been in here been looking.
I could probably look it up on a legit one instead of freaking some fake Facebook page.
Scott.
On the Pewter report, it says expected to fire, but Ravens defensive comments and Buffalo comments. I agree with about the divisional games that they're rematches of saying both teams.
Yeah, they're divisional game. I understand what you said, Sean, and I agreed that divisional games are closer. But when you win a divisional game, that you're oh, never mind.
Wait, ESPN said
look beyond. You weren't here at the beginning of the show, but I told everybody at the beginning of the show, look beyond last week's game. You have to look the last 5 games. The Bengals have been on a roll. The 49ers have been on a roll. They're the 2 most complete teams in the NFL right now. They're firing on all cylinders.
Yeah, I didn't. I mean, I was watching ESPN last night, so I didn't really see if it was actually true or not. But this that's a possibility. It's a possibility so far.
But they said he says they backtracked on the comment.
Yeah, so. Same way that they said Tom Brady was going to retire last year, and they backtracked that. Thank you, Abishefter, for that one.
Good question. Well, they just spent a lot of money on Roquan Smith, so how much are they going to pay? They're going to pay. Lamar Jackson's going to get paid because If he doesn't stay with the team and the team lets him go, which I doubt very seriously, whoever he goes to is going to have to pay for him. They're going to have to pay top dollar for him. If they keep him and put a tag on him, then they're going to have to pay the tag price, which is going to be top tier money. So Lamar's going to get paid no matter where he goes.
He needs to retire. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the only concern I have for Cincy right now is the tackle and the guard that got hurt. But Kappa's ankle thing, and he's had an ankle thing all his fucking career, and he's played well. So Kappa's a warrior. He's played with a broken arm. So I don't know much about the guard. I think he had his kneecap dislocated, and they're both week to week. But they got backups. They did draft. They did do well getting offensive linemen in there. I agree. He's not going to fix it. He's not at that. He's not at the point he used to be, where he goes in and takes the team and trains with them 24/7 and gets them ready to play and all that shit. He's not that Tom Brady anymore. Well, he wasn't with this team anyway. And
I gotta mute myself real quick. I'm in a queue right now. Let's see.
that Scott is absolutely true. It would be a good year for expansion teams to come out and suck up all the good talent out there, right? Brady needs to go back to New England and sign a 1 year deal, 1 day deal. Yes. Let him go back to New England, get his 1 day deal, retire, and sail off into the sunset so that we can already. I think here's the thing about that. I think honestly, Brady's waiting to see what Rodgers does because he don't want to go in the Hall of Fame with Rodgers. 100%. I think he wants to go in the Hall of Fame on his own, no other quarterbacks in there, so that it's his day, basically. I don't think Rodgers. He don't want to share that limelight with Rodgers this year. I think he's waiting a year to go in after Rodgers. That's all I can say. And let me. It's time for a commercial here. I'm going to go to this, and then we'll come back and wrap up. All right. Other than what we've talked about, let's see. Brady's not going to the Vikings, Scott. What's Steve Smith? Yeah, we just discussed that one. Said that one. Todd Bowles' press conference is almost coming on, so it's a good time to get out of here. Thanks everyone who showed up. Been fun. I'll do another pop-up if we have anything else to talk about later or tomorrow. Don't forget to tune into the NFL edition on Thursday nights at 9 p.m. Eastern time, and that'll be 8 p.m. Jason, you're late, bud. We're leaving now. So have fun, guys. We'll see you